Wednesday. Happy Wisdom Wednesday. How you doing today? Thanks so much for stopping in. I am Nichelle with 2excelwithnichelle.com. I bring you information, inspiration, and motivation to help you start, market, and grow into the CEO of you, the Chief Executive Officer. I do that by helping you to identify your weaknesses, to look at those strengths that you have, and then learn how to capitalize on opportunities, and then from there to devour those threats. I help you to find your gifts so that you can profit and start a business from your kitchen table while you are still on your 9 to 5. I'm a little late today, actually a lot late today. I was supposed to be on at 7:30. But business got in the way. I've been tied up all day with clients, and now I have a break because I had to come home and cook that dinner for Mr. And then I had to eat as well. Yes, welcome to each and every one of you. If this is your first time at my broadcast or in my broadcast, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. If you like what you hear, don't hesitate to share. Tap that screen. This is all about love, giving love. You give, you receive. That's what it says in the Word of God. So today, I am going to be sharing with you about real estate. If you've been on my broadcast, you know I have been a licensed real estate broker for in real estate personally, about 25 years. I've been a broker for about 17 years. Hey, Pastor Monique, how are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. Greatly appreciate you. Been in real estate 25 years, but that was the first business that I started from my kitchen table. Okay. The first one that I started from my kitchen table that I was able to persevere in and to go ahead and make that a full-time hustle. Now, I started another when I was in college. That was with a partner, and we started that in the classroom. Okay. So you can start a business at any factor. Hi, how are you? Welcome, sis. Thank you so much for being here. And so you can start a business in the classroom. In fact, that's what Mark Zuckerberg did. He started Facebook in college. So things happen while you're in school, and then you learn from those things that you did in school and take that out into the real world, which I did with real estate 25 years ago, and started my own business. I started off as an investor in real estate, and then from there went on to become licensed, a licensed agent. And then from there, I said, look, I'm tired of giving up all my commission to a brokerage. Let me open up my own brokerage. And that's what I did. So that's where I am right now. So we're going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. If you would kind of wait until I finish so I can go through everything, that will be great. If you got a burning question that you need to ask, go ahead and ask it. However, I may not get to it until the end. That's why I prefer you would do that. That will be great. And so thank you. I appreciate you putting that up there. Where he come from, out the basement. Most of the time, this time of day, a lot of times people just waking up, just getting their day started. Unfortunately, other people like bosses, they've been working all day. So thanks so much for putting that up here. So the first thing that I want to share with you, if you are new to real estate, right now, honestly, is the perfect time to get involved in real estate. And today, that's what I spend most of my evening doing, working with a lot of rental property people, investors that were out seeking rental property. And I tell you, I got a headache, and I'm going to tell you why, and these 5 things that I'm going to share with you. And that's why it's so important that before you jump into an endeavor, make sure you get educated on it. Not only educated, make sure you get with somebody that understands what it is that you are needing. Make sure you understand what it is that you're needing so that you can be proficient in your efforts. Don't you have to have a lot of money to become an investor in real estate? No. No, that's a fallacy. I work with people that don't use, you got to do OPM, other people's money, okay? OPM, remember those acronyms. Yes, I work with people every day that don't have a dime, and they purchase real estate, with OPM. They also have things, there's multiple ways, and I'm not going to share all of that in this broadcast because that'll be another broadcast, but I'll do that. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because I can make sure that I do that perhaps tomorrow to talk to you about the creative ways that you can do real estate. And actually, I have done that in the past. I do have a podcast. It's the People Connect podcast. If you go to iTunes, iHeartRadio, or Google, I can't remember which episode it was, but I talked about creative ways to purchase real estate. So no, you don't have to have a lot of money. That is a fallacy. That's what keeps people staying in apartments and all of that. No, you don't have to do that. So the first thing that I want to share with you has something to do with affordability. Is the number one is to make sure you can afford the expense, because even though you don't have to have your own money to purchase real estate, you need to have some money just in case something needs to be done, like fixing it up. And that's the issue we ran into today. You know, when I'm talking with my clients, I do a lot of education when I'm helping people start businesses, when I'm helping them with real estate, when I'm doing insurance, home health, whatever business entity that I'm working in. I always like to educate the clients to let them know that you got to come to the table with something. And if you do not have at least a little stash on the side for something to go wrong, you're not going to be able to get it fixed. And it's like you're going to be wasting your money. So if you're using OPM, a lot of times they will put that in the contractual obligations that you will have to pay them back the money that you borrow to fix the property up or to get it. But it's still good that you have a little side cash on the side just in case you have to dip into that. For example, today, a client of mine that I had helped purchase a house probably about maybe 2 months ago, we went to go look through the house again. And every time I always tell my clients to get an inspection, because you don't know what's going on with their house, especially if it's in foreclosure, because a lot of times most times the bank do not provide a disclosure. So anything could have been going on wrong with that house. And that's why it's important to have an inspector come in. And he chose not to do it because he said he didn't have any money. And an inspection typically will cost you anywhere from $200 to about $500, depends on the square footage, depends on the company you choose, and depends on what you get done. And so this particular person chose not to do that. So today he called me because the roof looked like it's caving in. And so we go over there and I said, well, do you remember I said that you should have had an inspection? In fact, I have my clients sign a sheet of paper, part of my brokerage, that I did advise you to get an inspection. And he's like, yeah, but I couldn't afford it at that time. And I said, well, perhaps maybe you shouldn't have been buying any real estate. Okay, so you have to be mindful of that if you are not ready. It's the same thing with starting a business. When I'm talking to clients about starting a business, you know, you can start a business with little to no money, but to think that you're going to be in business and not spend any money, it's a fallacy. You got to spend money in order to make money, and that's truly, truly true, especially in business. And so if you're starting a business as a real estate investor, then you want to try to have something on the side just in case something happens. And then just like for inspections, you know, if he had that, or if he had the money, he just didn't want to do it. If he had gotten an inspection, we wouldn't be talking about a roof leaking right now and caving in. So those things right there cost you money later on. And this type of, depending on the frame of the house, if it's an A-frame, flat roof, all of that, you have to pay attention to those things. It keeps freezing. Okay, I don't know why. I apologize for that, Pastor Monique. So yeah, we need to be mindful that in order to start a business, you got to have some kind of resources that are available just in case something happens. So that's number one. Can you afford the expense in business, okay, and in real estate, whatever business you get into? The next one that you need to be mindful of, if you're purchasing real estate, are you going to use cash or are you going to finance? And people ask me that all the time. I literally don't like to make decisions for people because I'm not paying your mortgage and I'm not paying nothing with it. But if people ask me that, should I pay cash or should I finance, then I ask them, I say, well, what kind of state are you in? How much liquid cash do you have? And that's really important to be mindful of. If you have liquid cash, and if it's a small investment, it may be beneficial for you to pay cash. If it is a large investment, I would personally say finance it. And a lot of times with investment property, the bank is going to make you put 20 to 30% down. It really just depends on your credit and what you can afford. So if you don't have 20% or 30%, then we go back to number one, where you need to have some money so you can do something just in case you need that, in case you have that expense. Because just purchasing a home, even if you were buying it as a homeowner, you're going to have expenses. Buying it going into business, you're going to have expenses. And the number one are closing costs, and then you have the inspection costs, and then other issues. If it's something else, you got to get permits, occupancy, and all that kind of stuff. So you have to weigh those things out and not just jump into it without really understanding what is going to be required of you and what you're going to need. And so if you have the choice of choosing between cash and finance, again, depending on how how much the property costs, then I would say if it's a low investment, like I have buyers that pay $10,000 for properties. We have properties $5,000, and they just give the cash because it don't make no sense financing $5,000 to $10,000. But if you're 30, 40, 50, 100,000, I have people buy apartment buildings. Had one about a month ago, $200,000 apartment building. Most people don't have $200,000 worth of liquid cash sitting around. So that right there will be a great opportunity to finance and use your money to invest in other properties from there. Like, you're going to need an earnest deposit. That's something I've talked about in previous scopes as well. And so earnest deposits, majority of the time, I know I always ask for them when people are putting contracts on my house. Sometimes people will ask for them, sometimes people will not. But still, they can range any price with anywhere from $100 on up to $5,000. I've seen them at every range, and I've even seen zero, because I've done contracts where zero is involved. Again, going back to number one, make certain that you have enough cash around. Hey, how you doing, Dale? What's going on? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. The bottom line is that you need to make sure you got a safety net of cash sitting on the side so that you do not be wasting and spinning wheels for something and you don't have any money to come in when there's the opportunity to do so, or when you need to. So number two, should I pay cash or should I finance? Really, that just depends on your situation, how much liquid cash you have available, what the property needs, because if it's a lot of work, you want to make certain that you save that cash and finance it. If it's just a quick, easy move in, then cash might be best. Again, it depends on your situation. Another question that people ask me all the time, do you want to be, I ask them, do you want to be a landlord, or are you buying this to flip? That's something you always need to be mindful of. A lot of times people go in with the intent to flip, but unfortunately they end up being landlords because their mortgage payment becomes due, especially if they're paying finance, if they're doing finance, and their mortgage payment becomes due. So eventually they end up becoming landlords, and depending on when you're buying the property, the best times to buy property are between February and September, because that's when the market is hot. That's when people are thinking about selling their home. That's when kids are getting out of school and parents are thinking about moving. So really, from an investment perspective, you can buy a house all year long, but it's always good to think about when people are available to purchase that house. And February to September are literally good times in real estate. After September, like in October, my business slows down. That's where those multiple streams of income come in handy, okay? Because it kind of slows down. It don't stagnate, but it kind of slows down where, during the summer and all of that, I can typically do 10 houses a month. It just depends. Depends on people's income and what they making and what they need, and if the desire. For every business, there always has to be a need, okay? If there's no need present, you cannot provide a solution. And that's the bottom line. So people always ask me these questions, and I ask them, do you want to be a landlord, or are you going into flip? If you want to be a landlord, then you need to be mindful of what is the expectation of a landlord. It's not easy being a landlord, especially if you have to get up in the middle of the night to go check on a client, check on a tenant, okay? It's not easy. Something happened to their house. You got to make sure everything is lined up, because you are the one who has the name on the property. And so if something happens to that, something happens to that, they're not going to come after the tenant. They're going to come after you. And that's why it's very important to decide before you go purchase a property, if I end up keeping this property, am I landlord material? Because everybody is not. And that's where I go into my number 4. Will you need a property manager? I do some property management for some clients. Yeah, it is. I don't know what that's Periscope. Look, Periscope sometimes will drive you crazy. Yes, I apologize for that, Dale. But yeah, so you have to ask yourself, do I need a property manager? And when you're looking at a property manager, most of the time they're going to take anywhere from 5 to 10% of your rent. It's freezing. Yeah, Pastor Monique said the same thing. I apologize. I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on. I have an excellent connection, because normally when I'm going out, I'll start talking to myself and it'll freeze on my end too. So what's going to happen is when I get ready to get off, it's going to freeze. That's normally how it happens. Yes. So number 4, property managers, they charge anywhere between 5 to 10% of your rental income. So again, I go back to, can you afford that expense? Because if your rent is $550 and they taking 10 to 20%, and they taking 10 to 20%, that can take a lot away from your profit, especially if you have a mortgage loan that you have to pay on that property. So you want to keep those things in mind. You want to make certain that you forecast the inevitable and plan for the possible. Okay. So anything that will happen, you make sure you have a side account set aside for that property. It's not you, it's all. Yeah, I think so today, because I've been on some as well, in between little breaks, and wasn't able to get on. So hopefully I'll get this stuff fixed. Yes. So you want to make sure that you have a bank account set up solely for your real estate, just in case you have to dip in there and get some money to fix it. So again, going back to property management, if you don't have anywhere from 5 to 10% after paying the mortgage to pay a property manager, then you probably have to end up being a landlord and managing that property yourself. But the good thing about property management is the simple fact is that anything happened to that property, you just pick up the phone, or the tenant will pick up the phone and call them. They won't call you. The property manager will call you if it's something out of their guidelines, what they fixed. If it's like a water catastrophe or something happens, they'll pick up the phone and call you then. But you don't have to worry about those midnight phone calls from a tenant. And that's why I love the property management aspect. Before I got into being my own broker in real estate, I used to hire a property manager because I wasn't where I had the property when I got started in the business. And so it helped me because I couldn't just get on a plane and fly down there or drive down there when the tenant had an issue. So you really have to look at that aspect of it as well. Are you available when the tenant calls? Because if you're not, that makes you a slumlord and the tenant can go to court and put you in court. Yes, they can. And all of that stuff. So you want to be prepared when you take on the so key and so important to do that. Okay. So number 5, the next thing that I want to share with you that's so important if you're thinking about starting a business in real estate is you want to make sure that you have the right team working with you and for you. Yes, be prepared. You want to make certain that you have the right team working with you and for you. Now, the people that work with you are your real estate agent. You know, I pray to God all the time. I tell people, do not be out there buying FSBOs for sale by owner, because those people are, majority of the time, they're not licensed realtors. They don't know the state law. They don't know the issues that are around the fact of buying property. And you can be buying something that is overpriced. And so I always tell people, do not buy FSBO. And nothing against the people that do it. People just really being stingy, and they want to keep the money in their pocket. They don't want to hire a professional to come in. And I've seen people fill out contracts for properties that were FSBOs, and what eventually end up happening, they get stuck with something that is priced more than it's actually worth. When an appraiser come in, they're like $10, $20, $30,000 more than what the property is actually worth. And that's why it's important to hire the right team, like a real estate agent, because we have access to find out what properties are on the market, what properties sold for, and we just have all of the back end stuff that a for sale by owner will not have. They typically go to Home Depot and get contracts. We got contracts that are backed by attorneys, where if something happens in that contract, our attorneys will help along the way. Like, I have several attorneys that work with me in my agency that I can pick up the phone and call them if my clients get stuck. If I get stuck, I pick up the phone and call them. So though it's very important that you hire professionals, and also you need a CPA and accountant, because you want to make sure that when you are buying this property, that you are leveraging your credit, that you are leveraging your finances, and a CPA will be able to help you with that. If you go to my Instagram page, I share with you the 5 people that you need in your business. If you're starting any type of business, whether it's real estate, started home business, brick and mortar, you need to have a sufficient team that can help you when you get in trouble, because sometimes no matter how much you know, you get stuck, and getting stuck can cost you money. And so you want to have that. So number 5, do I have the right team working with me, which means your CPA, your real estate agent, your appraiser, your mortgage person, your finance guy, whoever it may be. Do you have the right team? And the people that's working for you, I cannot stress enough how important it is to get great contractors. My Instagram is at Nichelle Womack. N is in Nancy, ICHELLEWOMACK. If you go to the link in my bio, Dale, I have all of my, wherever I am on social media, everything that I offer is in the link in my bio, and it's bit.ly/2 Excel with Nichelle, and the link has everything that I'm attached to and associated with in the link in my bio on Periscope. And so, but yeah, you want to make certain that you hire the right team. Thank you so much. Hire the right team in your real estate contractors, because I've seen people get contractors and they bamboozle them out of money. And contractors, people are paying 30% to their contractors and they ain't done a dang on thing to the house. Really? No, I don't think so. So I need to do something too, working with contractors, because see, contractors, they know, especially during the buying time of February to September, they're busy. They're busy rehabbing. They're busy fixing things, all kind of stuff. And that's why it's important that you get people that have been in business a while in the contracting industry. You want to get referrals. And I cannot stress that enough. Majority of the clients that I work with, as I mentioned, I do education when I'm working with my clients for any business that they plan on start. The first thing I ask them, let's get this team together before we go out here and buy some property. Okay. We need to make sure that we have a sufficient and efficient team that are honest, because people will take your money and leave you and you will never hear from them. This guy that was going around, he was putting flyers on people's doors to fix roofs. Okay. And I just told you earlier about a client that I got, this roof is leaking because he refused to do an inspection. But this guy was going around putting tags on people's doors to fix their roofs. Come to find out, he had embezzled like $10,000 from each client that he was working on. Majority of people's roofs wasn't no $10,000 to get repaired. And so you need to have some kind of idea of what things cost for you to get repaired, so that you're not overspending or underspending. You pay for what you get. And I tell people that all the time: if you want to be cheap, a cheapskate, you're going to get cheapskate work. Anything, starting a business, if you want to be cheap about the things that you're purchasing, investing in yourself, you're going to get cheapskate work. And so that's why it's very important that when you're talking about costs, that you really analyze, what can you afford? What can you do to start this business? It's not cheap being in real estate. Once you get leverage, the credit and the finances, then you begin to feel a little fresh air. Okay. But in the meantime, starting off, someone asked, I thought you had to have money. No, you don't, but you need to have something. Okay. You can still use OPM and get through the process. But if you don't have anything to fall back on, then what you're going to find yourself is you're going to have a property that's more than likely vacant, that won't pass inspection, and you're going to be putting more money out versus what you're getting in. So anything that you do in business, if you're thinking about starting a real estate business, it's very important to plan. I speak about planning all the time. In fact, I did a business plan template for people that are kind of weary about starting a business. I go through every aspect of starting a business in that business plan template, questions that you need to ask as it relates to your mission, your marketing. Even in real estate, you need to have a business plan. Where are you? What is your mission for purchasing property? What are your goals and your objectives? How many properties do you want to purchase in a year? How much income do you want to make from each individual property? That is called planning. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And that's why I always stress with every client that I work with, we got to put a plan together. We just don't, hey, Nichelle, I'm ready to go purchase a house. No, we're sitting down and we're strategizing, because I need to know what your goals and objectives are so that I can fundamentally help you in the best way possible. I want you to leave a happy client. I want you to leave a satisfied client. I want you to profit in your investment. And not only that, I want you to refer people to me to say, look, she's real. She's down to earth. She's going to break it down for you. So for number one, you don't be out of money. And number two, that you have profitability as a business owner. And so I help plenty of people that don't even have an office. They start this business from their kitchen table, and this is how we do it. We strategize. We talk about goals and objectives, plans, long-term, short-term, all that kind of stuff. Where do you see yourself in this business moving forward today, 5 years from now, 10 years from now? Okay, so it's very important that you get somebody that knows what they're doing, knows what they're talking about, knows the laws. Okay, just because somebody is showing you a house, that does not mean they're a realtor. Realtor, we are backed by the National Association of Realtors. That is our governing board. So we have a fiduciary responsibility where we owe this to the client. We can't be fraudulent, because if you are, you lose your license and you can go to jail. Yes, and so every industry that I'm in, real real estate, insurance, we have to be licensed in those areas. And so I take my business serious because this is my livelihood. This is what I do on a regular basis. And I don't play when it comes to my business, any business I have, my consulting business, real estate, insurance, home health. I don't play when it comes to my business, nor do I play when it comes to my clients. So that is my message for you today. 5 things that you should consider if you're thinking about starting a business. If you're interested in some assistance with helping to get started in real estate, I do offer that as well. You can check the link in my bio for consultation, and I'll help give you a beginning aspect of how to get started. I also help people when they are in the process. What do I do in insurance? Right now, I'm just life and health insured. Pretty soon, I'm going to be property and casualty. That's what I'm working towards. And then I also do roadside assistance. That's my other side hustle that's attached to my insurance business. I help people get roadside assistance, unlimited service on their roadside assistance. And then people that get the service, they get paid when they refer. It's a wonderful business. I love Fridays. Yes, it's a wonderful business. So yes, everything that I do, it ties into every business that I do. Everything. I have a security company. I actually offer security services when people purchase the home. They can get their home alarm system from me. I do pay referrals for that. So you can be anywhere in the United States. If you need an alarm system, if you refer somebody to me, I will pay you a referral fee. I also pay referral fees for roadside assistance. Now, I can't pay fees for a realtor if you refer to me somebody that's getting a house, for the simple reason, as I mentioned earlier, we're regulated by the National Association of Realtors, so they don't allow that unless you are a licensed realtor. If you're a licensed realtor, then I can give you a referral fee if you refer somebody to me in a different area. And right now I'm in the process of finishing up my license in Georgia. I'm licensed in Missouri, so anywhere in Missouri, and then Texas. I was in the process of doing that before that issue happened down there with the hurricane, and now they told me they're like backlogged. They were like, it could take anywhere from a year to 2 years. I'm like, oh my God. So I paid my money and everything. I just don't know how long that's going to take for me to get licensed there. And then in Tennessee, that's another one. And then in Illinois as well. So soon I'll be licensed in those areas, and I don't mind paying referral fees if you send me somebody. Insurance, I can't do that in insurance as well because it's a regulated industry. Yes, regulated industries, I don't play, again, when it comes to my business. So, but if you refer somebody to me that needs a security system, I will give you a referral fee, and that's anywhere from 100. I have people that refer that make very good money just referring. And you have to think about it, because we refer people every day. We refer people to restaurants, we refer people to people, and if you're not getting paid for referring somebody, you missing out on some income, okay? That can be adding to your bottom line. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Dale. You got to keep it flowing. Just like I was saying, because real estate gets slow in September, and it gets slow, you got to figure out something else to do. And that's why I started adding additional things to my business. And I speak to that to my clients too. If you're going to get started in the business, you need to master that one business first, which I've been in 25 years in real estate. My first real business, well, actually my college business was real too, but this was the first one that I was by myself, that I was starting. And you just have to add things on, because you never know. Just like with a job, it's nothing wrong with having a job. I applaud people that have that. That is good. I think jobs are good for teaching experiences, but you need to add something else on just in case that job leave you. It will. If you haven't lost a job in your life, then you just been blessed, okay? You just been blessed. So I just tell people all the time, never, ever put all your eggs in one basket, even in real estate. Because we talked about this, Dale, when the real estate market crashed in, between 2006, 2008, we were out there. I was out there because that was my primary business. And I was just bamboozled, just all the stuff that was going on. You talking about somebody crying, you seen a grown woman cry. That was me. My husband crying. Yeah, it was like, what we going to eat? Where we going to live? So really, that right there taught me another way. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. When I lost my 6-figure job, I was a pharmaceutical sales manager. When I lost that job, wonderful job. You was telling the realtor today that he can get his loan originally. Now you have to be licensed. See, my husband had a mortgage company, and I had the real estate company. So we was rolling, okay? He had the mortgage, I had the real estate company. But now you have to be licensed to do that. And I was an AE. account executive for a bank. So I was like triple dipping. That's when it was good. I'm telling you. That's why I was talking to you all the other day. I said, if you think about it, you've made six figures in your life. You know, I made six figures on a job. I made six figures in a business, all of that. Yes. It was a dynamic duo. And now he's branching back into that. So I don't know if we'll be like we were before, because we was rolling, you know, and then life took a turn. Things happened in our life where we lost a lot, you know, and that's why I can speak to you on business success, because I've gained a lot and I've lost a lot. I know what it feels like to be successful in business, and I know what it feels like when you want to quit, when you want to cry, when you like, I don't want to do this crap no more. Okay, I don't want to do this. I know what it feels like that. So I can speak from both spectrums: success, financial gratification. Yes, you know, I can speak on every level when you're talking about business. 25 years being in business. You just don't be in business that long and not experience something. And every day you could talk to any business owner, not just myself, any business owner that's been in business longer than 5 years, and they will tell you it's been hard. It's been a struggle. Some days I want to quit. I want to give up. But then when you think about it, when you think about the autonomy that you have controlling your own schedule, and today, guess what? I did not control my schedule. My clients control my schedule today. Yes, they can control. I had to remember. I said, I'm the CEO. Wait a minute. But sometimes you have to meet people where they are. And fortunately, it was a win-win situation, because I was able to do what they needed for them to do. So it worked out well. Praise God. Because otherwise I was getting ready to question, who's the CEO here? Yes. So that is my message for you today. If you are new to my broadcast, thank you so much for stopping in. Again, I'm Nichelle with 2XL with Nichelle.com. You can learn everything that I do to help you with the link in my bio at bit.ly/2 Excel with Nichelle. I want to add more streams. Well, we can talk, Dale. I mean, you do the foreclosure, so I can help you add some more streams to your business. And you just have to come telling me what it is that you're interested in doing, because I can offer tons of things. Like I said, the security system, I mean, that's a wonderful thing that you can do. But you tell me what your strengths are, because that's how I operate with every client. I don't just, push stuff on you. I need you to tell me what your strengths are, what you're weak at, opportunities, and then I'll find opportunities for you, help you find opportunities. Then we talk about threats, just in case. Because see, people think you're going to get in business and nothing's going to happen. Things happen, so I try to be honest with people. In fact, I am honest with people and let them know. Foreclosure modifications, yes. So you can add a lot to that. I mean, the good thing about real estate is there's so many opportunities in it. So many opportunities, because that was one thing that I added on, as I mentioned to you, during the 2006, 2008 was the modification with foreclosure, because I had to add that additional stream, because how I wasn't selling no houses, because it was so difficult for people to get approved. And even now, the credit monitoring is just opening back up now, where I can get people at 580 approved. Yes, you take it. Yeah, I don't play. I do not play. And like I told you, I give me a job, do what I need to do. And then from there, I'm like, look, I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I'm a boss. I'm ready to go. But, fortunately, I've had some amazing jobs. Every job I've had, I've loved. And that's very rare that you can say. And the reason why I love them is because I know that I work for myself, and that, that's not my only source of income if I have a job. So that's the reason why I love them. I'm just not putting all them eggs so one could crack in a basket. Never, ever, ever again. When I got laid off from that 6-figure job, that taught me never to put those eggs in the basket. The market, the real estate crash, 2006, 2008, taught me not to put all my eggs in one basket. And I tell all my clients, you need more than one way to make a living, okay? You can't depend on your job, even your business. You can't even depend on your business to be there, because things change. And if you're not progressively moving forward, then you're going to get left behind. And yes, we learn. I learn every day. Yes, Dale, I learn every day. And I thank God for that, because learning is good. When you stop learning, you might as well die. Look, that's the end of the world right there. Yes. So yes, thank you so much, Dale. Pastor Monique, I think you were still on here. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. If you like one-on-one consultation, if you like what you heard, do not hesitate to connect with me if you're not connected with me by touching that little man down there, that little He was cute. He changed on me all the time. The little fine man down there. If you like positive inspiration and motivation, I'm also on Instagram at Nichelle Womack and on Twitter at Nichelle Womack. Connect with me there. You can send me a DM and we can talk about things that you are interested in doing in your life to prosper, grow, and become financially successful. We all dream that will happen. We all have obligations. Whether you don't have kids or a husband, you got obligations. You owe somebody. And if you owe somebody, you need to be thinking about, how am I going to pay them? I need some additional streams of income. If you're interested in starting a business from the kitchen table, I am your girl. And so while you can do it, while you're working your 9 to 5, you can still be getting on your hustle. I'm your girl to help you do that. Strategize, plan, organize, and profit. All right, that's what we do. So thanks again. Blessings and peace unto you. I also have a podcast. You can go download that on iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Google. It's called the People Connect Podcast. We're also on Facebook, so you can check that out at the People Connect Podcast. And all of that, again, is in the link in my bio. Everything that I do to help you. Yes. Thank you, Dale. God bless you. Thank you to each and every one of you coming in, Apple viewers, Twitter viewers, YouTube, wherever you are. Blessings and peace unto you. I'll see you tomorrow, if the Lord say the same, at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Central Standard Time. And I typically come on, I was coming on between 3 and 5, but life got in the way. My life changed. I'm working on a PhD as well. So my mind got a little boggled and it was kind of hard for me to do that. But every now and then I do stop in between 3 and 5 p.m. to give you some type of inspiration to help move you through your day, to push you out of your comfort zone and into the great gift that God has for you so that you can open them up and flourish in your life. That's what it's all about. Pushing, excelling, flourishing, open those gifts and sharing them with the world. So catch me between 3 and 5 possibly, but most definitely tomorrow evening. I'll be on here sometime, but my goal is to be here at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thanks again. Blessings and peace. Have an amazing, blessed rest of the evening. Talk to you later, Dale. Connect with me. All right. Bye-bye. Thank you for the love, all the hearts. I greatly appreciate them, and the replays and the sharing. Excuse me. All right. Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye. May everything you touch turn to gold. Forgot my tagline there. All righty.